What comes after times usually? Divide. Okay, so this is division. Okay, so the easiest way to do these are going to be to put them underneath the same radical. So 2 over 18. Okay, and you can type that on your calculator on a fraction. So hit your fraction button and type 2 over 18. What does that simplify to? One over 9. Okay, and then we can put this back into two pieces. Okay, so you can say square root of 1 over square root of 9. Well, what is a square root of 1? If you don't know, type it on your calculator. What's the square root of 1? 1. What's a square root of 9? 3. Okay, so our answer is just 1/3. Okay, 37's pretty much the same. However, 3 over 3, you're going to simplify the inside and the outside totally separate. What is 3 over 3? 1, or it just cancels, okay? So this part kind of just disappears, okay? On your calculator, then you can type in 8 over 36. What does that simplify to? 2 over 9. Okay, so we can write that as square root of 2 over square root of 9. Okay, well, what is a square root of 2? Square root of 2. It does not say 2. What's a square root of 2? No, type in square root button.
It says 2.
It does not say 2. It says a square root of 2. That's why I was like, I thought you were getting 2. So a square root of 2 is still a square root of 2. That's why I was like, I know it's not 2. Okay, so square root of 2 is still a square root of 2. What is the square root of 9? 3. Okay, look at 39. Okay, again, for some of these, there's really not steps that I can write. Okay, however, I can tell you to get the square root by itself. Okay, so what is next to the square root? -5. Okay, same thing here. There's a 6 next to it. Okay, so that needs to move first. Anything that is on the outside of the square root needs to be moved first. So like this 3 needs to be moved first. This 3 needs to be moved first. Okay, what does it mean when it's sitting right next to that? It means multiplication. So we need to do what? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Divide. Okay, so we're going to divide both sides by -5. Okay, what is -50 divided by -5? 10. So on this side, I got 10 equals a square root of x. Okay, once you have the square root by itself, okay, you're going to square both sides. So when it's alone, then squared and squared. Okay, so we can square both sides. Okay, and look at me. This is what happens. When we do this, it gets rid of this, and it gets rid of this like square root. So we're just left with the x. Okay, and on this side, you need to type on your calculator, what is 10 squared? 100. Okay, so look at 41. What needs moved first? What's by the square root? -3. How do I move a -3? +3, +3. Okay, what is 7 plus 3? 10 equals square root of p over 8. Okay, now, is the square root by itself? Yes, so now we're going to do what? Square both sides. Okay, so this is going to cancel with this. So I got 10 squared. What is 10 squared? 100 equals p over 8. Okay, and so now I can move that 8. How do I move that 8? Times it by 8 on both sides. Okay, what is 100 times 8? 800 equals p. Okay, 43. What needs moved first? The 5. Okay, so see how the 5's like not exactly underneath this house? Okay, so that's the one that's going to get moved first. So we're going to say -5, -5. Okay, and then what is 9 minus 5? 4. Okay, and then what do we need to do? Is the square root by itself? So when I'm talking about by itself, is everything underneath of it or not? If there's stuff on the outside or stuff over here, then it's not by itself. But if it's underneath that house, then it is by itself. So our next step is going to be to square it and square it. Okay, so I got m minus 6. What is 4 squared? 16. So 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, and then what? Add 6. Okay, what is 16 plus 6? 22. Good. Gross. Yeah, we flip flop everywhere. Do you guys have one of Miss Weeder's passes? Somebody? No, they're very talkative. Okay, the next one on here is graphing exponential. Okay, so we're going to make our chart. Okay, and then who remembers what numbers are we plugging in? Good. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so on your calculator, you're going to type in 3 times and hit your fraction button. Come on, bud. And then hit the exponent. And then you're going to type in -2 and run through them. 12. You got 12? Good, and then you can go back and hit edit and then change the numbers.
6.
6,
3.
3,
3 over 2.
okay, what is that as a decimal? Because I don't know where to graph 3 over 2, right?
2.
It's not 2.
2 point.
So right here, you got to hit the SD button. So would you get 1.5? What about negative, or 2? Sorry. .75. Okay, so we're going to go to negative 2, and we're going to go all the way up to 12 and put our dot. We're going to go to negative 1 and go up to 6 and put our dot. We're going to go to 0, 3 and put our dot. 1 and 1.5 and 2 and 0.75. Okay, it wants us to describe the translation. Okay, so, Miracle, your phone's driving me nuts. Okay, so we got a to the x plus or minus h plus or minus k. Okay, that's the formula. Okay, if the k is a positive, it's going to go up. If it's a minus, it's going down. Okay, for the inside here, if it's a plus, I'm going to the left. A minus is going to the right. Okay, and then for the A part, if B is greater than 1, it's going to be growth. Oh, I said B, it should be A. If A is greater than 1, it's going to be growth. And if it's A is between 0 and 1, then it's decay. Okay, so if we look at this, what is my A value? 1 over 4. Okay, so it's going to be, yes, it's going to be decay. Okay, and then is it going left or right? Right 1. And then is it going up or down? Up 1. Okay, the next section on here is it's rewriting from exponential to log form. So it goes, and this is going to be good for numbers 49 through 52. Okay, so it goes log of A, B equals C. Okay, and that goes to exponential form of A, C equals B. Okay, this is log form. Okay, so we can either go to exponential or from exponential. Okay, and the easiest way is going to be to label these. So, what is the 2? Is that A, B, or C? A, right? So this is A, B, and C. Okay, and so we're going to write it in this form because it's telling us, so what is my A? 2. C. 3 equals B. 8. Okay, this one is in log form or in exponential form, and they want us to go to log form. So what is the 19? A, B, or C? A. What's the 2? C, and this one is B. And now we're going to write it with the log. So it's going to be log of what? 19. Then what? 361 equals 2. Okay, the next one is evaluate logs. That just says plug in your calculator. Okay, so on your calculator you have a log button. So type in your log button. Put the 7, and then when you get in that box, hit your fraction button. What'd you guys get? -3? Okay. Okay, the next section on here is about evaluating logs. Okay, so see how that says log 12? Yes? Okay, so that means you need to raise this to the same log on both sides. So you're going to say 12 and 12, and that cancels that. Okay, so we're left with -4n equals, what is 12 to the 0 power? Type it in. 12 to the 0. What is that? 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay, and then we're going to continue solving. How do I solve for n? Divide by 4. -4. Okay, n equals, what is 1 divided by -4? Good. Okay, so -1/4. You can put that negative with the 1, with the 4 on the outside. It does not matter. Okay, look at 57. What number is next to the log? 4. So you're going to say to the 4th, to the 4th. Okay, so I got -5b minus 2. What is 4 to the 3rd power? $64. Okay, and now what? What needs moved first? We're solving for b. The 2. So we're going to say plus 2, plus 2. So I got -5b equals what? 66. Good. Then what? Divide by -5. Okay, what is 66 divided by -5? 66 over -5. Okay, it doesn't change. Sometimes it will. In this case, it didn't. Okay, and then 59, what number is next to the log? 16. Okay, so we're gonna say 16 and 16. Okay, and what happens is that's gonna cancel this, and this one's gonna cancel this. So we're left with 5r minus 8 equals 4r plus 3. Okay, what needs moved? We're trying to get our letters to the left and the numbers to the right. What's going to need moved? The 8 is definitely going to need moved, so I'm going to say plus 8. What is that going to go under?
Plus 8.
Well, it is, but whatever I do to one side, I got to do it to the other side. So is it going to go under the 4r or the 3?
3.
The 3, okay? Why can't we put it with the 4r? Yeah, it doesn't have a letter. Okay, and then, yes, the 4 does need moved. How do I move that 4? How do I move the 4? There's only 4 options, plus, minus, multiplication, or division. Minus, we're gonna say minus 4. Minus 4. Okay, so now it's ready. What is 5 minus 4? 1r equals 3 plus 8. 11. Okay, and then what do we need to do? Divide by 1. That's going to give me 11. Okay, these ones are about condensing and expanding logs. What goes with times? Times and what go together? Addition. Okay, division goes with what then? Subtraction. Okay, and then there was a power rule. Okay, if you recall, like if there was a number out front, it might need to go to the back or the back to the front, depending on whether you're condensing or expanding. Okay, so this is saying condense it down to a single log. Okay, so our first step is going to be to move it, okay, from here to here. Okay, same thing. This one has a number out front, so it needs moved. So this is going to look like log 5 of 11 to the 2 plus log 5 of 8 to the 6. Okay, and now what does plus go with? Multiplication. So it's going to look like log 5 of 11 to the 2 times 8 to the 6. Okay, and we've condensed that down to 1. You should only see the word log up there one time. It says condense it to a single log. Okay, same thing. We're expanding logs. So do any of these have a number out front? Huh? One of them does. What is it? The 5. Okay, so this one needs to be moved. So it's going to look like log 8 of x plus log 8 of y plus log 8 of z to the 5th. Okay, now that we've done this first step, and these kind of like, this is always going to be pretty much step 1, and this is step 2. Okay, it's either going to be multiplication or addition or division and subtraction. Okay, so now that we got that, what's addition go with? Multiplication. So it's going to look like log 8 of x, and I'm going to use a dot because I have an x there, x times y times z5. Okay, or you can just straight up write it x, y, z5. That still means times. Okay. We're almost done. We got 4 left. Okay, expanding logs. Okay, your very first thing you're going to have to do, okay, for those of you guys that don't remember, if there's a number on the outside of the parentheses, that's going to have to get moved first. If there's not, okay, then we go ahead and deal with either multiplication or division. Okay, so is there a number on the outside of the parentheses? No. So we can write this as log 8 of 10 to the 6th. What goes with multiplication? Addition. So it's going to be plus log 8 of 7 to the 4th. Okay, and this is almost done, but you do need to get rid of those powers. Where do the powers go? Out front. Okay, so this is going to go here, and this is going to go here. So it's going to look like 6 log 8 of 10 plus 4 log 8 of 7. Okay, whereas 67, there's a power out there. Okay, so your very first step is going to be to move that power. Okay, so it's going to look like 2 log 3 of U5 over V. Okay, now rather than, see how like these all say log 8, they're all going to say 2 log 3, 2 log 3. Okay, so what goes with division? Subtraction. So it's going to look like 2 log 3 of U5 minus 2 log 3 of V. Okay, do we have any powers or exponents? Which one has an exponent? The 5. Where does the 5 go? We just did it to the front, okay? But there's already a number up front. Do you remember, what do we do with those two numbers? You multiply them. So 5 times 2, 10. So there's going to be 10 log 3 of U minus 2 log 3 of V. Okay, and then the last 4, what we just took a test over. They want you to simplify these, okay? So it's going to be factoring first. So we can go ahead and draw our thing in our 2 brackets. Okay, and dealing with the first one, we say, okay, well, what are some factors of 10? One, 10, 2, 5. Okay, what's going to give me a 9? 110, and I need a negative 9. How can I make that happen? How can I make a negative 9 happen? Plus minus. Okay, and somewhere in here, I would probably draw yourself the chart of the 4 options, so you have it. Okay, that's that chart. And then for the bottom one, we need to make factors of 70. So I got 1 and 70. I don't know what the rest are. 2 and 35. And that's where you guys come in. 3 go in. Probably 5. 5 and 14. 6, and then 7 and 10. I need something to give me a 3. 7 and 10. Okay, how can I get a negative 3? Plus minus, good. Okay, and then we look at this and say, well, what can I cross out? 10, 10. And what are we left with? Okay, plus 1. Okay, plus 7. Okay, you guys can cross off 71 and 72. Okay, because they're pretty much the same, and that's like fairly new. Okay, so you guys have 35 problems to do. Okay, work through your other half. By the end of today,